Hey, good afternoon. This is Clay with Clay's AC and Auto Repair and Clay Motion here in Grand Rapids, Michigan. If you find this video helpful, please subscribe and click the notifications. Remember, you can't break what's already broken, and if anybody else can do it, you can do it too. If you got a question for me, you can reach me on the Facebook under Clay's AC and Auto Repair. I can help you maybe with your automotive needs, but I can't help you with the drip of gonorrhea. Today we're going to talk about heating inside a Chevy Tahoe, Chevy Suburban, GMC Sierra, Chevy Silverado, Cadillac Escalade. It's all going to be the same. This particular Tahoe that we're working on today is a 2005, but you'll find the procedures fairly the same. And I'm going to drop some information on you on just how to check your heating if you don't have heat coming out, what the possibilities could be, and show you what was actually wrong with mine, but explain to you how things can be on other situations that you're going to deal with, because there's going to be multiple situations that can cause you not to have any heat. So I recommend you watch the whole video. Okay, so in your vehicle, if you do not have heat coming out, you need to ask yourself a couple questions. Is my blower running? If your blower's not running, then we're going to go ahead and check fuses. If your blower is running and you still have no heat coming out, you can pop your hood and take a look at your heater hoses. With the engine up to operating temperature and running and your heater on high, you should be able to touch these two hoses. Generally, these hoses will go into your firewall, and there'll just be two rubber hoses, larger rubber hoses that go into your firewall on just about any vehicle. This is going to be the same information. You can grab them with your hand and make sure that they have a consistent temperature between the two of them. If they do not have a consistent temperature between the two of them, then we're going to check for either are we low on coolant, and if you're low on coolant, why are you low on coolant? In this particular situation, none of them problems exist, so we don't have to worry about that, but I thought it'd be good to let you know. Our problem in this particular vehicle is that our blower motor resistor is bad. I know that, but I'm also going to show you how to test your blower motor, and we want to make sure that you're getting power from your blower motor resistor that's actually powering it. Before that, we can actually do a simple verification test that it's not actually our blower motor without getting out any special tools. You can turn your vehicle on, get it up to operating temperature, and you'll find this blower motor, and I'm going to show you right where it's at inside the car here in a couple moments. And you can hit it with your hand. You can basically pop, pop, pop. If the blower motor comes on, then your blower motor brushes are bad on the inside of your blower motor, and you just need to simply replace it with a new one at your parts store. But when that happens, what is going on? Say you hit it and your blower motor comes on. What's happening inside the blower motor is at the top of the motor right up here, there's two magnets that are spring loaded, and them magnets are not contacting the armature properly, so it's not creating the force for it to go around. This procedure also works for a fuel pump. If you suspect your fuel pump's bad, take a hammer, hit the bottom center of your gas tank where you believe the fuel pump is at, and if the fuel pump comes on, you got a defective fuel pump. Now, with this, when you do that, it shocks them springs, pushes them magnets to the end, makes the motor spin. That just means it's worn out from usage. In this particular situation with this particular automobile and this particular Chevrolet General Motors today, it stays on all the time, anytime this is plugged in. Well, there's a couple things that we need to check for and verify that's the problem. I've already removed the blower motor resistor, and I'm going to explain to you how to do that. It's actually a really simple process. So what you're going to do is underneath your passenger compartment, underneath your dash here, you're going to go inside here, and we're going to remove this plastic trim piece that you see here on the ground. Now, there was two 7mm screws that hold this on. One is located right here, and one is located down there. I didn't remove that screw because I didn't have to, but I'll show you why. Just because it's up inside, recessed up inside a pocket that's way up underneath the cowl there, makes it very difficult to get out. If you want to get it out, you just take your 1/4-inch ratchet with the 7mm deep well socket and find the screw and screw it out. You're more than likely going to end up screwing it out with your finger, and you won't be able to use the ratchet. But to get it started loose, you can use the ratchet if you want to take this completely out. But in our situation, we can remove this rather simply. Now, I'm going to show you where this blower motor was located. The blower motor is located right up underneath here. With one hand, and I should be able to do this with you guys on the camera. You're going to pull this tab down, turn it clockwise, and then it'll remove really easy. It's one of the simplest blower motors to remove in the world. So now we've got that out. We're going to go about, we have to rewire our blower motor resistor. Now, like I said, you can check the fuses and stuff like that, but in this situation, we already know it has power. You want to make sure that you undo your battery before you do this, before you take your leads off and put the new wiring harness that comes with your new blower motor resistor on the vehicle. If you get a General Motors blower motor resistor, it's actually going to be a lot better than most aftermarket. Okay, so if you want to remove your blower motor resistor, you got simply two 7mm screws that you'll take out, and then that'll come out. During reinstallation, generally there's a multi-bolt pattern on these aftermarket blower motor resistors, so you'll have to make sure that it fits in there properly. You can see mine goes flush, just like your original one when you take it out, but I did try to put mine in backwards. That's why I'm telling you this. But anyways, that's how you remove the blower motor resistor. Here is our blower motor resistor that we took out of the vehicle. It actually has a separate plug for the input and then a separate plug for the output. Our new one is a shared plug, which is fine. Our new one actually seems like it's a little bit better than whatever this one was. I don't know if this is aftermarket. It looks aftermarket. That tag don't look factory to me, but I'm not for sure. But this one has a lot better heat sink on it. This one's longer, a little bit comes out. Blower motor resistors go out all the time. I don't care if it's factory or if it's aftermarket. They just go bad. Now in my particular situation, once I get my blower motor resistor installed and my blower motor isn't staying on all the time, which was the problem that I had before, I want to make sure that my fuses are good. Okay, so you've tapped on the bottom of your blower motor, and it's still not working. All right, now you're going to want to go through and check your fuses. Now generally you can check your fuses with the test light. What you'll do is hook the test light up to the positive side, and you can touch the test light to the negative side, and it should light up like it does there a little bit. That's kind of janky test light I got here from Snap-on, I guess, but I've had it for like 20 years. So anyways, for some reason when I go to check my fuses, which you touch the tips of the fuses with the test light, and the light should light up. I don't know, it won't light up. I know this fuse is energized because I checked it with my power probe, and that's why I use a power probe and I don't use a test light. I highly recommend you check all the fuses, pull everyone out individually, look at them if you have to. And the reason that we do that is because some things actually work off of two circuits. Anytime you're checking anything in an automobile, it's not always by one circuit. You can pull out your owner's manual, find the particular fuse for the cigarette lighter that's not working, but have the cigarette lighter work on two different circuits. And you've not found the problem. You're like, I checked the fuse, but the fuse was good, but my cigarette lighter doesn't work. Well, that's because most shops, they'll check everything. Now, I don't use janky test lights. I know you guys don't have one of these sweet power probes like at home like I do, but I use them, and I'm going to show you essentially what happens when we're checking it. If you do use a test light to check to see if you have power at your blower motor and make sure it's sent to your blower motor resistor, all you do to check for power on one side is hook the test light up to the positive, and you're looking for negative. And then you hook the test light up to the negative, and then you're looking for positive. If you have both of them, then you got a bad blower motor. And I'm going to go inside the car and show you how to do that. So before, whenever the ignition was turned on, we always had power going into our blower motor, and our blower motor would constantly run, and we couldn't have that. Now we've replaced our blower motor resistor, and I checked for power all the time, and I'm going to show you. If you had your test light, and I'm going to show you why the power probe's sweet, it not only does it tell you if you have a positive or negative by lighting up the green or the red, it'll also tell you what the battery voltage is, which is very helpful. I'm going to try to do this in front of you guys at the same time. So I always have power going to the blower motor resistor, but when the blower motor is not energized, it does not have power. But when it is energized, it shows on there like this. Now when it's turned all the way on, I will have full ground, and I'll show you that. I'm going to turn up the the voltage all the way so it shows full ground. Okay, with my ignition turned on and my blower motor turned all the way up to max speed, I check the orange wire and I have good constant ground. Now, if you were using your test light, it would be hooked up to the positive side of the battery and you should have a light on the orange one. If you're testing the negative side, or I might be speaking in reverse. If you're testing the other side, have your test light hooked up to the negative side of the battery and you should have a light. Okay, so that did the trick for us. New blower motor resistor. I hope you guys find all the information in the video helpful. I know I jumped around. I was working on 15 different things at working on this thing, but it leads you down a couple roads for diagnosis. I think I covered just about most of the reasons you couldn't have heat, with the exception of one of your blend air doors being bad on the inside of your vehicle. That's generally not the case with these Chevy Silverados. The blend air door motors don't generally go bad, but the blower motors go bad, the blower motor resistors go bad, and that's just because they pull so much amperage to run them electric motors. Not a big deal. I hope you guys subscribe. Generally my videos are put together a little bit better than this, but I had a ton of things I was doing. Remember, you can't break what's already broken, and you can't fix it if you don't try, and if anybody else can do it, you can do it too. God bless. Please subscribe, click the notifications. Thanks much.